Hello, and congratulations with the purchase of the AVer camera controller CL01. Today we'll discuss connection of the camera controller and AVer camera with the VISCA over IP protocol. There are some prerequisites in order for this to happen. You will need a network switch or a PoE switch or a router/switch in order for this to work. You will also need some network cables rated Cat5e or better to connect the camera, the controller, and your laptop, all within the same network. Quick overview of the controller. You have 7 quick select buttons for cameras 1 through 7. You have a joystick for pan, tilt, zoom control, as well as quick access to presets and on-off toggle buttons for auto tracking for the TR series of cameras. The back of the controller, we have a micro USB connection for firmware updates only, RS422 and RS485 connection, an RS232 9-pin connection, and an RJ45 network connection to connect to your network, as well as a power connection DC 12 volts rated at 2 amps. Although the controller can control separate cameras for over RS422 and 232, we will be focusing mainly for network connectivity. So you will have a network connection similar to this, where it's a controller, a switch or a PoE switch or a router/switch, also connected to a computer and to 1, 2, or multiple cameras. Please note that a direct cable from the controller to a camera will not work, as well as using a cross cable direct from the controller to the camera will not work. A switch is needed. 7 steps for this to work, or to get through this process. First, map out your IPs. So in this example, we will use 192.168.0.200 for our computer. Camera 1 will be set at 220 and the controller at 230. Step 2, we'll verify the NICs. Step 3, configure the camera's IP address. Step 4 and Step 5 will be on the controller side. So we'll need to set up the IP address of the controller, the COM port, as well as the camera's IP address for the controller. We will connect all 3 devices to the same switch, verify link lights as well. Step 2, verify your NIC on your computer. You will go to your network connections, right click on your hardwired Ethernet connection, not your Wi-Fi. Go to properties, go to IPv version 4, go to properties. We're going to set the IP address statically to 192.168.0.200, as well as a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. This network we're assuming this is a closed network, not connected to anything else, so we're just grabbing IPs ad hoc. So this would be an example of at a show floor or just a closed network that you're doing a demonstration in. Once you have confirmed the IP and subnet of the NIC of your computer, you will go to step 3, verify the IP address of the camera. At this point, you will unbox the camera, connect power to the camera, connect the HDMI output or SDI output to a monitor. You will then use the camera's remote control, navigate down to the network setting, disable DHCP, then go to the static IP address and enter it manually. In this example, we are using 192.168.0.220 and a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Next, we will go to the CL01 camera controller. Plug in the power to the controller. It will take anywhere from 3 to 4 seconds to boot. It's rather quick. Here we have an OLED display with its main menu. It will show a camera IP address. It will change as you select different cameras here, all configurable. In this example, we will select camera 1. Next, we will long press the menu button for 3 to 4 seconds to gain access to the submenu. We are now in the submenu, system settings. We will use the joystick to navigate. up, down, left, right for pan. So for system settings, we will move the joystick to the right to gain access to the submenu. We will go down to number 6 where it says itself IP. We will then input the IP address we have pre-configured or written down, mapped out. We can use the keypad to enter in the IP address 192.168.0.230. Now, to confirm, we move the joystick to the right. It brings us back to the selections, move the joystick left to exit this submenu. So 3 things to set up. So that was number 1, the IP of the controller. Next, we need to verify the COM setting. So we're selected here for camera number 1. The address is fine, baud rate's fine. The protocol is important. This is where we need to set for Sony Visca. Once we move over, move the joystick up, down to select your different protocols. We have Visca, Pelco D, Pelco P, and Sony Visca. Sony Visca is for our Visca over IP protocol. To confirm, move the joystick to the right. Brings us back to the protocol selection, move joystick left. It brings us back to the previous menu. Next, our third item to configure, the Ethernet setting. Go down to number 3, move the joystick to the right. Next, so here under channel, we're set for camera 1. We actually have the ability to control up to 255 separate cameras with the CL01. So for this example, camera 1, we have here, go down to number 2 where it says camera IP. This is where we set up the camera IP for the controller to control. So this is what we set up for the IP of the camera. Once satisfied, when you type in the last octets, it should return automatically back to the number 2. Move your joystick to the left to exit. One more time, and we are good. The next thing we want to do is actually connect the devices to the switch with your network cables. So now grab your network cables, connect the camera connection, RJ45 connection to the switch, connect the AVer controller to the switch, and connect your laptop to the switch. If you are using a TR530 camera, you need to verify that the Visca over IP selection is enabled. You can gain access to that setting using the camera's remote control and using the on-screen display to gain access to that setting. Also verify the link lights as you're connecting your RJ45s. You should have something similar to this, where you have a solid green light for network connection and then a blinking amber yellow light, meaning transmission of data, transmit, receive. And there's activity on your network. At this point, you should have control of the camera. So select camera 1, use your joystick, pan, tilt, zoom to verify control of the camera. If you do not have control of the camera, verify that you have set up the IP addresses and the subnets properly. Another thing to do or to check is to open up a command prompt. Should there not be connection or control from the CL01, you would open up a command prompt, type in ping, and then the IP address that was configured for the camera. And you should get 0% loss. As well as you can, from your laptop, type in the IP address of the controller. You should get 0% loss. Another thing you could try is to open up a Chrome browser or IE11 browser. Type in the IP address of the camera that was configured, and you should get a login screen. Now it's important to note that either you use Chrome or IE11 for this, as Edge will not work. So from here, if you can gain access to the camera from your browser via your closed network, and you have pan tilt control here, it's a good thing that you would know that you have network connectivity, at least from your laptop to the camera. Next, you would need to verify the connection from your controller to the camera. So you need to double check how you set up the IPs in the controller. So this concludes a brief video tutorial on connecting your AVer CL01 controller and your cameras on the same network via switch or router. Thank you and good luck.